Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you watched our last video, we walked you through some benefits and credits you might be eligible to claim on your taxes this year. Taking advantage of some of these might help you get a bigger refund or help to lower your taxes owing. Now in today's video, we're going to share with you 6 reasons why you should file this year, even if you didn't work last year. Maybe you don't owe any taxes, or you just don't think filing your taxes this year will be worth it for you. For everything that we're covering today, you can find the related Canada Revenue Agency links in the description below. For any of the upcoming credits or benefits, make sure you're eligible before you apply, or seek the assistance of a tax professional if you're not sure. If you could really use an affordable way to file your taxes this year, check out our previous video where we walk you through 3 ways to file for free this year: on your own, with Canada Revenue Agency, or even for free with a tax professional. So let's start things off with our very first reason that you should file this year: tuition credits. If you're a student, one of the best credits that you can take advantage of on your tax return is your tuition fees. To claim your tuition, you need to file your taxes and include your tuition tax receipt, which looks like this. Claiming tuition on your tax return usually results in a refund of almost all of the taxes that you paid throughout the year. Even for those of you that aren't working yet, you want to claim your tuition this year because it allows you to collect and carry forward all of those credits until you start working and eventually need them. In order to get credit for your tuition, though, you need to file your tax return for the corresponding year that's on that tuition tax slip, which means you can't wait until you eventually graduate to claim all of your tuition fees on one return. If you don't file every year, you'll need to go back and file a tax return for every year you missed while you were in school in order to get credit for all of your tuition. Be careful though, not everyone is eligible to claim tuition on their tax return. As an example, if your tuition was fully paid for by your employer and they didn't include it as income on your T4, then you can't claim the tuition on your tax return. International students should also be especially careful. If you're considered a non-resident for tax purposes and you didn't earn any income while you're in Canada, CRA states that in these cases, they do not permit non-resident students to claim and carry forward tuition amounts. The second reason to file this year are student loans. If you took out a student loan, you might be eligible to claim the interest that you paid on your tax return. Any unused amounts will be carried forward for up to 5 years to be claimed against your income. Be careful though, not all interest from student loans can actually be claimed on your taxes. Only interest paid on student loans that were received through federal or provincial acts like these qualify. So this means that student lines of credits that are issued through a bank, for example, are likely not eligible to be claimed on your taxes. The third reason to file this year are Canada Child Benefits. One of the ways the Canadian government tries to help parents with the cost of raising children is the Canada Child Benefit. The amount that you qualify for is based on your household income, as well as your children's age and how many children you have. For those that qualify, it can mean a maximum amount of $6,997 per year per child under 6, and $5,903 per child for children between the age of 6 and 17. Not only do you need to file your taxes to receive this benefit, you need to continue to file to ensure your payments don't stop. The fourth reason to file this year are RRSP limits. If you worked last year, even if it was only part-time, the income that you earn may be eligible to create RRSP room that you can use in future years. Not all income is eligible to earn RRSP room, but here are examples of which income types will contribute to your limits. In order to get credit for your income and increase that RRSP room, you need to file your taxes for the year the income was earned. But for those at lower levels of income, not only will you get credit for your RRSP limits, but if you paid any income tax off of your paychecks, you may be eligible for a full refund of all of those taxes when you file. The fifth reason to file your taxes this year are loan applications. If you're thinking of applying for a loan or a mortgage in the near future, banks usually like to see that your taxes are up to date, especially if you're self-employed. On top of that, they may even ask for verification that any taxes that you have owing are fully paid with CRA. This is because in Canada, CRA has pretty broad powers when it comes to collecting debt, like putting liens on assets or even garnishing wages. This can turn into a very expensive task and take longer than expected if you have a few years to file. On top of that, if you do have amounts owing to CRA, these are now going to take away from those funds that you had saved up for legal fees, your down payment, or renovations. The final reason to file your taxes this year are provincial credits. While many of the credits are there to help lower our taxes payable, there are some really great credits out there that are paid out regardless of whether or not you owe any tax. Like the Climate Action Incentive, for example, which is paid out to taxpayers in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario. Here are the amounts that you could potentially receive depending on where you live. In Ontario, there's also the Trillium benefit that's there to help offset some of the costs of your home, up to $324 this year. For single taxpayers, there's the GST credit, worth up to $467 this year, or as high as $934 if you have children. In Alberta, there's the Alberta Seniors Benefit that can be as high as $3,431 this year, or even higher if you live in long-term care. These are just a few examples of the many benefits and credits that you can apply for at tax time just by filing your tax return. There are many more in every province across the country. Hopefully you found some of the topics that we covered today helpful when you go to file your taxes this year. Thank you so much for visiting the channel, watching the video, and we'll see you next time.